Hey guys, November 24th, the day before I post it. I've got 4 here. This one's 1993, which is space age to me. That's like brand new stuff, but it was in the pile, so. It's raining here. It's always raining here, so. It's dark out too, even though it's, so I even got my nice, got the chandelier and got the electric lights on here. So, all right, we'll start in. A 9H, and everybody that knows anything about anybody that knows anything, this is a push cat for push loading scrapers with the inside mounted frame and all the extra padding on there. Some of them had a rubber block in there too for impact, so when they'd bump into the scraper it'd be a little easier on the back neck and the machine, I guess. Not really a bulldozing machine. I mean, they would push dirt and take down little windrows, but I don't think they'd be too productive and pushing a hill down. The Terex, that same scraper would have first come out as a Euclid. Probably would have had a more, yeah, that one. Okay, there we go. That's the Euclid one that just got the name change, I think, because it had that rounded front cowl radiator front end there, the Euclid style. This is the newer one, so that would have always been the Terex at TS. More modern square look. And an IT. I think they made 3 of those. Like, what was it, an IT 12, 18, a 28? They made 3 for sure. They were quite the deal there. And was it 85, 86 they came out? You get the forks and sweepers. They're kind of like a bobcat. You put anything on them. They're their own specific line. They weren't the 910s, 20s, or 30s. And a D9, always a beautiful sight. Doesn't matter what state or province it's in, that's a cool machine. It's called a cantilever cab. I think some of the science behind that was they didn't fog up for some reason when the window was facing the degrees the other way. That's 10 or 15 degrees slope back. So it would keep some of the rain off as well. Getting out of Prince George, which is the middle of British Columbia. You know it's old when it just says Cat D8. It doesn't say a D, which is an old one, or an H, or a K, or nothing. These are all bush cats. The little hard hat on top is a water tank that would hold, I don't know what, 80 gallons, 50, 100. It would hold some amount for fire suppression. That bump there is kind of like a limb, well, that's a limb riser. That bump on top of it is a little hard hat for the limbs to hit that and not tear the exhaust off. That's a neat picture. A log building behind it, wood building, and the water wheel. It's a postcard, that one. And I pointed out more than a few times. I grew up running, well, my dad started in 71 with iron with that rig there. That's what I learned on the Draught 4-in-1 bucket, Deere 9310 backhoe. Bit of a rare bird, the Lorraine. Big machine, big machine. Somewhere back in the archives there is a video of me actually touching one and coming up to one and finding it. Quite rare. Their cab was really long. It was almost like 2 cabs back to back. Crazy long. They used it on their cranes too, the same style. The old Chapman, you don't see those anymore. I think I'm half correct. The Chapman, they made a big one. They made 2 models. I can't remember if the other one was a 2800 or one was big. The Chapman became the Cypress. And then I think Cypress was bought out by Medill. So I guess this would have been an early, not a prototype, but that would have been a early becomings of a Medill, I think. Nothing too exciting on these back pages. Although a portable sawmill is always exciting. Nothing like turning round things into square things. Doesn't seem that long ago, but it does seem like a lifetime ago that a 5-axle logging truck was a real life thing. Now the Americans won't know what I'm saying, won't have any idea why, or that would even be a comment, because that would be nobody'd even blink twice at that going down the road down the I-5. But up here, you wouldn't. There might be a couple, but you won't see them. Salt Lake City, Utah. Drove through there once. It seemed like nicer weather than I'm sitting in right now. It rained all last week and it's going to rain all this week. That's a big truck. Good looking cat. Different ripper chute. What's that called? That's not the Attico, is it? A-T-E-C-O? Yeah. There was a couple names of rippers they made. I know that was its own specialty one. It's a little bit different. $9.92. That thing's awesome. Cat nailed it. They've never come close since that the B and C series. 988B. The old Ernest Goes to Camp with Jim Varley in it, Jim Varney in it. They're crater mining when they had that loader running around. Those were the best looking machines. Oh, a ton of them unit rigs. 100-ton trucks. Big cat power. Well, we'll do another one. It's raining, it's yucky. I'm sure everyone, it's dark early now here at 4:30. So give somebody else a couple more minutes here for their evening. Terrace was up north, up off the Skeena River. Terrace, Prince Rupert, up far away from here. Used to be big time logging up there. There was big pulp mills were up there, in those areas. That's a yarding boom. That's a loading grapple. They did load with those. McMillan Blodell had ones like that, called the long boom loaders. They kind of gut hook them, load off highways with them. Now, Medill 3400 is not a number I'm real familiar with at all, other than a Ritchie Brothers thing here. To me, I would call that an 009 if I walked past it. These are all weird numbers. 6-500. And the Washington. Go on Wheeler Equipment YouTube channel. You can see these Washingtons working, even right back to the 1970s. It's got some good footage. And all his videos are good. It's got some wild link belt stuff. That's way more of an American setup. That wasn't really a big thing around here, but Washington, Oregon would use tail hold cats. But around here, well, I guess if there's an upper and a lower road for a grapple yarder, tail hold cat's fine. But usually you'd see that more on an excavator called a back spar. Build its own trail through the back end, hang the blocks and carry them in and out with it. Boy, that would sure be a twist and turn way to mess up a landing. Have a track machine just turning and twisting with 15,000 pounds of logs hanging off the front end of it. Railway crane? Is that a railway crane? Yeah, it says it's on rail. Log car. I think you go broke today setting up a logging railroad. I think the one in Washington's long gone, and the one at Beaver Cove, the old Canfor Inglewood one, I think that's long gone now too. It's kind of sad. And there we go, 14 minutes. Hopefully it only felt like 5 or 10 or 13. Okay, see you guys.